Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about something called the Pax Silica pros and cons. It's about a big plan led by the United States to protect the future of artificial intelligence, computer chips, and important minerals. And it raises some serious concerns for the Philippines. What is Pax Silica? It's a group of countries, led by the United States, working together to keep the supply of important technology materials safe. They're focusing on four main things: artificial intelligence systems, computer chips, special minerals like nickel and copper, and the energy and transport systems that support them. In simple words, it's a team of trusted countries trying to make sure the building blocks of future technology stay secure. Meaning of the name? The name actually has a meaning. Pax is a Latin word that means peace and long-term stability. Silica is the material that becomes silicon, the main ingredient inside computer chips. So, the name is saying, just like the last century ran on oil and steel, this century will run on computer power and the minerals needed to make it. Launch and founding. Pax Silica officially started in December 2025. It was launched by the U.S. State Department. The main person behind it is Jacob Hellberg. The first big meeting was held in Washington, D.C. on December 12, 2025. At that meeting, several countries signed an agreement, though it wasn't legally binding. The early members included the United States, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, the United Kingdom, Israel, and Australia. Some other places like Taiwan and the European Union also joined the talks. Development and expansion. After it started, the group grew fast. In early 2026, more countries joined, including India. The US also said it would put hundreds of millions of dollars into related projects. In June 2026, they held a second big meeting. About 10 more countries joined, bringing the total to around 24. New members included Germany, the Netherlands, Kazakhstan, Panama, and others. They also started creating practical tools, like a system called Pax Pass, to make trading high-tech goods easier, and training programs with universities like Stanford. Just imagine that. Core goals. Pax Silica has three main goals. First, build a strong and safe technology system among countries that trust each other. Second, reduce heavy dependence on any single country, especially China, for the materials and parts needed for AI and chips. Third, encourage countries to invest together, protect important technologies, and work as partners instead of shutting others out completely. The Philippines joins. The Philippines officially joined in April 2026 and became the 13th member. Philippine officials had already shown interest a month earlier. On April 16th and 17th, Trade Undersecretary Severino Rodolfo signed the agreement for the country. At the same time, the US and the Philippines announced a big project, a 4,000-acre industrial zone in New Clark City, Tarlac. This was meant to be the first major AI and technology hub under Pax Silica. Jacob Hellberg later visited the site. Why the Philippines was attractive. Why did he want the Philippines involved? The Philippines has large amounts of important minerals, like nickel, copper, cobalt, and chromite. These are needed for batteries, electronics, and computer chips. The country already has factories that assemble and test semiconductors, and it has a young, skilled workforce. Its location in Asia, its long alliance with the United States, and its connection to the Luzon Economic Corridor also made it a good fit. The flagship project and other countries. The new Clark City project is currently the biggest and most advanced physical plan under Pax Silica. U.S. officials call it the first of its kind. Other countries are being discussed too. Kazakhstan is talking about a minerals-focused zone. Israel has early ideas for technology parks. Panama is testing a smaller project about tracking high-tech goods through its ports. But so far, the Philippine project is the only large industrial hub that has been fully announced. According to the Basis Conversion and Development Authority, the possible benefits are big. If the project is fully built, it could bring in 40 to 70 billion US dollars in investments. Yearly exports could reach as high as $200 billion. It could create 130,000 to 190,000 direct jobs, mostly for Filipinos, plus another 500,000 to 800,000 indirect jobs. The government could also earn large amounts in taxes and land leases. These are official estimates, not guarantees. The real results will depend on what kinds of companies come, how much knowledge is transferred to Filipinos, and how well the social and environmental problems are handled, and much, much more. Key challenges. Even with the possible benefits, people have raised real concerns. Some farmers and residents worry they could lose their land and livelihoods. The compensation offered so far has been called too low. There are also questions about how indigenous communities like Itas will be treated. On the environment side, the project could use massive amount of water. 65 to 90 million liters a day is roughly equal to the water used by 150,000 to 220,000 typical households in one day, and need a huge amount of electricity, about 3 gigawatts when fully built, enough to power about 2 to 3 million average homes. Critics also worry it could lead to more mining and possible pollution. Solutions for land and displacement. There are practical ways to handle the land problems. The government can do a clear public check of who owns or lives on the land. They can offer fairer payments and options like land swaps. They can also give skills training and priority hiring to affected families. Even if the land is not officially ancestral domain, communities should still be properly consulted. The project can start in smaller, less contested areas first, and there should be an independent system where people can file complaints. Solutions for environment and resources. For water, power, and mining concerns, several steps can help. On water, the project should recycle as much water as possible, collect rainwater, study the local watershed carefully, and set clear limits that the public can monitor. On power, the hub should build its own clean energy supply, so it doesn't overload the normal electricity grid. Small nuclear plants have also been suggested as one option. On minerals, the industrial zone should not automatically lead to new mining. It should focus on higher value processing, follow strict environmental rules, and use some of the project's money to protect local water sources and communities. Closing/the core issues. This brings us to the main issues. Pax Silica gives the Philippines a rare chance to move up in the global technology industry, attract huge investments, and create hundreds of thousands of jobs. But success is not automatic. It depends on solving real problems about land, water, power, and national control. The big question is whether the country will truly gain new skills and long-term benefits, or mainly provide land, minerals, and lower-level labor. The opportunity is real. The risks are real too. How the Philippines handles this balance will decide whether Pax Silica becomes a real win for the country or a missed opportunity.